Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about another very common edible that probably grows in most of your yards or around where you live. And you will see it growing in the yards, even in wet, marshy areas, or even in ponds. So it's very prevalent. And it's called dollarweed. I'm sure you've seen it. Here's some examples of it, and I have a nickel there just for size comparison as well. Now, dollarweed can get bigger. These are just a few that I found growing in the yard, and so I picked them to show you. And you'll notice that the leaf is completely round with the stem. We use this bigger one for reference. Completely rounded with the stem coming directly out of the center and down. And so they call it dollarweed because it would look like a silver dollar. Dollarweed leaves and stems are completely edible. Now the stems tend to be a little more bitter, so a lot of people just use the leaves. They have minerals in them. There's not a whole lot of nutritional value, but if you're looking for something for fiber and just add some green to your diet with some trace minerals, these are good to find. Also, just the fact that they're so prevalent makes them good to know, be able to know and recognize. So they have a kind of, I would say maybe like cucumber peel taste to them. So a little bitter, but very green tasting. Now the larger they get, the more bitter they'll be. So usually would recommend maybe getting picking the leaves that are nickel sized or smaller. They're going to be your less bitter. As they get bigger, they'll be more bitter. But they have a very good, just green vegetable taste to them. So they're great for adding to salads. If you do pick some bigger ones, maybe you could put them into soups or stews, something that would simmer a little bit longer and maybe take some of the bitterness out. But another thing that I've read that people would like to do with dollarweed leaves of all sizes is ferment them, like sauerkraut type thing, or a yard-based version of kimchi, just a fermented leaf that supposedly tastes very good. I haven't personally tried it, but another benefit of fermenting anything is the healthy probiotics that you would get. So I think that is going to be on my list of things to try, and I'll let you know once I do. So these are dollarweeds. Now they are easily found growing in wet areas. If you do pick them from ponds or marshes, you want to take extra care that you're washing them really well, because since they're growing in a wet environment, they can have waterborne harmful bacteria. So you just want to make sure you're washing it really well. Maybe with a sink full of water with a little bit of vinegar in it to kind of help kill off any bacteria. But otherwise, there's really no problems about it. These are often confused with another weed called pony's foot, which pony's foot is completely edible as well. So it's really not that big of a deal if you do confuse the two, but I do want to talk about pony's foot as well so that you can learn to recognize between the two. So we'll go right over here, and I have a little group of pony's foot. Now you'll notice that the difference between dollarweed and pony's foot is that pony's foot is not completely round. It's like it has a cleft in the middle, almost like you would find a horseshoe shape, and the stem grows out of that cleft. So very distinctive difference between that and the dollarweed. Sorry, I lost my frame of thought there. Okay, so these are pony's foot, and again, they're going to grow all over your yard. They grow just about everywhere. And they're very freeze resistant, so that is one good thing to be able to recognize them, because this is going to be one of the few greens that may be growing during the winter months, and you can add them to your diet as well. Now pony's foot stems and leaves are also edible, just like the dollarwood. They're good raw in salads. They have more of a bland taste to them, but that would make it great to add to salads. I know a lot of people add them in with other bitter greens to kind of mellow out the overall taste. So like dandelion greens or wild lettuces, anything that would have a little more bitter taste, they'll gather up a bunch of the pony's foot and add it into that green salad to just kind of lessen the bitterness. So again, edible, have minerals in them. You would probably just want to eat the leaves, not the stems. The stems are edible, but the stems have a more bitter and stringy kind of taste and texture to them. So pony's foot and dollarweed grow very prevalently all over our area, and you can add them into your salad for supper tonight. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that you found this useful.